Hello, 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 I am Ben the Bold, and welcome back to another edition of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where we are continuing to go down the list of our Naval Academy missions. And today we are going to be featuring Torpedo the Dreadnought. So, this is the mission we're going for. We are trying to approach and destroy a heavy dreadnought using just torpedoes. I have a feeling this one's going to be kind of tough. We only have $7 million to do it. We are building a bunch of torpedo boats or a bunch of destroyers. Hopefully a bunch of torpedo boats or a bunch of destroyers, and we are trying to take down a dreadnought. Their max speed is 21 knots, so we should be able to outspeed them. I think I'm going to go with, in this case, more funds. I'm going to try to build a very low-tech group of torpedo boats that just speed in as fast as possible, shoot their shot, and be out of there. And I'm not sure if it'll work, but I'm going with the whole horde mechanic here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go switch to Torpedo Boat, and let's see what I can come up with. 3, 2, 1. All right, and this is the vessel that I'm going to go with. I only have one 4-inch gun on this ship. That may or may not be the right way to go. Instead, instead of going with like multiple deck guns in the rear, I decided to go heavy on the torpedo tubes. I do have that aft weight offset by quite a bit. We'll see what kind of damage that does to me. Maybe I should just put some rocks in the bow of this ship. But yeah, so I am a little high on weight in the rear. But I do think that having those 5 tubes is going to be very helpful. I am building 9 of these boats, so hopefully we can just kind of swarm them. And we are going 26 knots. We are not super heavy on any kind of armor. Of course, if they hit us, we're pretty much done. I did go ahead and I'm going to leave it at standard torpedo propulsion, although maybe electric or fast would be good, although I can't get electric, so maybe fast would be good. It increases the torpedo speed but decreases the range. No, I'm going to be needing to shoot our shot from a long distance, I think. So I think standard propulsion is going to be just fine. I did increase them to the largest torpedo that I can get, 18 inches. That's going to be quite a bit of damage. Let's go ahead and see if we can sink this dreadnought with 9 torpedo boats. Alright, so a couple things. One, I did go ahead and switch to, well, I want to go ahead and switch to aggressive torpedoing, and at least as many as possible. Yeah, so that maybe I'll shoot them from a little farther out. I have plenty of torpedoes. There's no reason to try to spare any. Might as well go ahead and shoot them as far in advance as possible. I'm also switching to line abreast form. I am just trying to race in, get really close, and see if we can take it down. When we start to identify the dreadnought a little bit more, we'll take a look at what kind of ship we're going up against. In this case, I hope they're a ship with not very many tertiary guns. I think my boats will do a decent enough job dodging. Where are you guys going? They've just decided to, kind of do their own thing. I think we'll do a decent enough job at dodging their heavy shells, but it's the tertiary guns that could rip us apart, especially considering we are such low armor. They're going to get a good salvo off, but assuming they miss. Now, if they ever hit on one of these salvos, which watch them hit right now. They do. Yep. Well, great. Alright, so that boat's probably gone. It's going to take a lot of flooding damage. Although, honestly, you know how we have that aft weight penalty? Maybe just a little bit of water in the front of the tank will do it well. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll go ahead and advance time a little bit. Cut to when we're a little closer. See how many boats we have left. So we start out with what, 9 torpedo boats. We have just 5 left. They've sunk 4 of us already. And I think that this is some of the very first torpedo salvos we have gotten off. And I think they're going to actually probably dodge this one pretty easily. We have done a little teeny bit of damage with those 4-inch guns. Mostly just in starting some fires. It'd be great if we could hit a rudder or something, or knock out one of their towers to reduce their vision just a little bit, especially just to keep them from seeing these torpedoes and taking evasive actions. Let's see how true our aim was. I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up here a little bit. Watch the torpedoes probably miss as they just come in a little bit closer. Oh yeah, maybe this one has a shot. Maybe. Let's see. What we really need are 2 or 3 big hits, but unfortunately I think they're actually going to speed ahead of all of them, and yeah, it looks like this volley won't do us any good. In the meantime, many of our boats, including that one right there, have gone down. So I'm not doing super hot. I think it was definitely, well, I mean, this isn't an easy mission. I'm trying to sink a dreadnought with a bunch of teeny tiny little torpedo boats. So I didn't necessarily expect to get it in the first try, and indeed it doesn't look like I will. Yeah, it's official. Our vessels are dropping like flies. Just one hit from one of these battleships' main guns tends to sink them. I think I've only put, you know, just a few torpedo salvos in the water in the first place. We'll go ahead and see if these two boats can do anything, but I don't have high hopes. We're going to have to think about a different strategy that might help us win. Maybe better torpedo propulsion? Maybe better tech? Yeah, so unfortunately I failed that one. I'm actually going to go ahead and exit out of the scenario, and I think this time I'm going to go with optimized torpedo propulsion. I think getting a greater max range of these torpedoes, as well as increasing the torpedo speed by 52 knot. No, it's just 52 knot torpedo speed. Okay, but also way increased torpedo accuracy. I think this might be the real trick. I won't be able to build as many ships, but hopefully I will be able to hit from farther away, which I think is probably the most important thing. I think I'm still going to go with the torpedo boat idea. I still really like that. Let's see what I can do with a little bit less money. So this is what I came up with. I actually really like this design. I like it a little bit better than the last torpedo boat I designed. I decided to go ahead and move the funnel back to help out a little bit with the weight distribution. You can still see my aft is still a little heavy. That's probably because of that double torpedo mount. But I did squeeze another torpedo tube on here. Still a 4-inch gun. Not that that's going to do much. I am only building 6 of these this time. That hurts to not have that little bit of extra income to build more boats. I did keep with the 18-inch torpedo size, although just because I need to do that extra damage against the Dreadnought. And I did this time go with electronic torpedo. I think that having the increased torpedo accuracy as well as the minimized detection range could be really helpful. We'll see. We'll see. I've never gone into battle with the electric torpedoes before. This is still a really new version of the game. So we'll just we'll test it out. We'll see what happens. I also have a speed of 26 knots. That should be faster than anything that they have. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so I have good news and bad news as this German Dreadnought comes into view. The good news is it does not appear like they have a lot of smaller secondary or tertiary guns. So it looks like we are, hopefully, if we can dodge these main guns, going to be able to kind of get up close. The bad news is they have a lot of main guns, and their main armament, I'm sure, is going to be just very accurate, just compared to whatever I have. Look, a little 4-inch gun shell comes up a little short. I only have 6 boats. They're going to try to close distance as fast as possible. I have gone ahead and put them all on that. Well, no, it turns out I haven't. I put a couple of them on aggressive. I'm going to go ahead and put all of them on aggressive. Let's just go ahead. There's no point in conserving torpedo ammunition because, I mean, they're going to take one hit and go down pretty much. So I might as well have them shoot their shot as soon as they can. I did leave them in just line ahead formation this time. And we're going to try to get up close, turn abreast, fire torpedoes. We'll see how accurate we are there. Well, and right as I thought I was about to shoot my first torpedo salvo, it looks like we took a huge hit and our lead ship has unfortunately sunk. It is now up to the 5 remaining vessels to try to dodge that battleship's guns. TBY-4 seems to have learned from its counterpart, and it is not going to go down with all its torpedoes on deck. And it takes a close miss there. Oh, another close miss. But it has shot off a salvo. We'll have to see if it is an accurate one. Alright, so the good thing about these electric torpedoes is that even though they're a little slower, they are harder for that battleship to detect. So hopefully it has not seen these yet and does not know to take evasive action. because our fish look to be going true, especially this one. It'd be great if we could get up to 3 hits here, but I think maybe just 1 or 2. It's going to be close. You can see just our 4-inch guns doing a little bit of work. They're at least firing. I have a feeling that salvo is probably going to destroy me, isn't it? Yep, sink it. I don't know how I called that. But again, they may not have died in vain because these 18-inch torpedoes are going to hit hold. At least 2 of them are. And that's all the damage they did. A little disappointed, although that's going to slow them down. Let's go ahead. That's going to slow them down, make them a little easier to hit with some of our other ships. I have put all of them in aggressive. They should be firing their torpedoes like you. You need to fire your torpedoes, man. There's no point in... There they go. They've shot their salvo, and now they're going to try to turn to the other side. Okay, but I don't think that they have adjusted for how slow that battleship's going. What about you? You could shoot your torpedoes at any minute as well. The whole battle line is going to turn abreast. Hopefully fire torpedoes and then run behind the vessel, because it's going to be hard for that battleship to turn around after taking some hits. Yeah, I don't think that they really compensated for how slow the ship is going to be going at this point, and I think we're going to miss with this salvo. Alright, so it looks like we're barely going to hit it. Yes! We are going to take another hit to the battleship. That's going to cause them to do just a little bit more flooding. So we do get 1 hit. That is big. It's going to slow them down even more. Unfortunately, they are also going to get a good hit and destroy a torpedo tube. It's alright. You have shot your shot. You've shot your torpedoes. Go ahead. Get to the rear of the line. Let's have you fire yours. At any minute now. Any minute. TBY-3 has indeed shot its torpedoes. These look to be heading straight and true. Again, I don't think that battleship can really see them. They are the electric variety. They should know to just kind of constantly be turning. But they don't seem... Although, watch this be the only one that hits. Let's see if any of them hit. Alright, it appears that at least one of these fish is going to hold true. Maybe we'll get a glancing blow with the second one. No, but it's at least going to hit right amidship. In fact, our second torpedo actually will hit. That is wonderful. 46 damage doesn't do a lot, but we're going to get a little bit more flooding in the midship. TBY-1 has also fired its torpedoes. Alright, TBY-5 needs to shoot as well. Let's go ahead and turn you all this direction. It takes a long time to reload the torpedoes. TBY-3 has unfortunately sunk, but TBY-1 is going to get a hit, and that's going to hurt. They're going to do rudder damage. They're still flooding, and they have a lot of engine damage. They're not exactly moving quickly, but they are unfortunately, and TBY-1 has unfortunately sunk as well. TBY-5, you need to shoot your torpedoes. We only have one more fully healthy torpedo boat, and it has refused to fire any torpedoes and now is going to get the brunt of its... Yeah, I feel like we had a much better outing, or much better showing this time, but it's still not going to be enough to sink the German Dreadnought. Look at all these torpedoes in the water we have coming here. Surely one of these will hit, right? Maybe this one. They are trying to turn away. Maybe one of these two. This could be big, this could be big. They do turn away and at least are going to avoid the brunt of our attack, but I do think at least 2, maybe 3 of these fish are going to hit their target. Or maybe this one will... Oh, did they... Oh, you can't tell. Alright, perfect. They are really listing now. And unfortunately, we only have one more torpedo boat left. It's a torpedo boat that's taken a lot of damage. It would be a hero of the Chinese Navy if it could indeed finish off this Dreadnought. It wouldn't even take that much. We just need to hurry up and reload and get one good salvo off. If we could get one good salvo off, all angled, and get multiple hits, we might have a shot here. But I wouldn't hold your breath. We're going to take another hit. And we do sink due to heavy flooding. So we were close. We had almost sunk that. We'll just have to try it again. Alright, so I do think enhancing the torpedoes is the way to go. I'm actually going to try it with destroyers. I'm not going to be able to build near as many destroyers, but let's just try a destroyer run, see if that maybe is a little bit easier than all these torpedo boats. Let's see what I can build. Okay, you want to talk torpedoes? Take a look at this. We have 4 double torpedo tubes. We only have one 5-inch gun. I might have actually thought about switching out one of these rear torpedo tubes for another 5-inch gun just to see if I could, you know, maybe start some fires on deck. But instead, I'm going to go with just lots and lots of torpedo tubes, especially because I'm only building 3 destroyers. They are going to be pretty fast at 27 knots. They unfortunately don't have a ton of armor. Minimal, just a few bulkheads, so they are also, you know, they rely on just not being hit a lot more than being able to withstand some hits. But let's see if 3 destroyers can take on 1 dreadnought. The good thing about these destroyers, and maybe I just missed it on the torpedo boats, but I can make smoke, which means they're going to have a little bit harder time hitting me, and I'm going to be able to close with them just a little bit quicker. I did go into line abreast, as you can see. I also went into loose formation. It makes my guns a little less accurate, but it does make them a little less accurate as well. And I don't know if it affects my torpedoes. Wouldn't think it does. Let's go ahead and see what happens. I just had a huge explosion on deck of the Luan. That's going to destroy some of my torpedo mountings. That's unfortunate. We were hoping to keep those intact. The Luan does actually shoot all the torpedoes it has left. It only has 2 tubes, but those tubes seem to have maybe strike true. We have been able to close to a pretty close distance. They also closed with us. I also have a couple more destroyers and it looks like they have launched a huge salvo as well. Let's see if these 2 torpedoes can hit. They look like they are going well. If my fish aim true, this could be devastating to their Dreadnought. Oh yeah, they're not going to be able to dodge these 2, that's for sure. Yeah, so we have 2 torpedoes coming in. It looks like they're going to make excellent hits. Oh, one of them is, 2 of them, come on. Oh, and we barely missed it. But are you seeing this? We have 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. I think all these might hit. This is going to be huge. That right there was how torpedoes should work. Yes, that was awesome. And we have another salvo coming in. Let's have you come around behind. Here, would you look at these? We're at least going to get 2 hits here. Wonderful. Sink it. Here we go. We have another huge volley of torpedoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. I think all 6 are going to hit true. And they're going to hit the other side of the ship. I know that we've done a ton of damage to that other side, but I don't know how the damage is modeled on these things. But take a look at that. That's going to hurt them quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead, have this destroyer pull off. Unfortunately, they did sink one of my other destroyers, so all I have here, I think they only have 2 torpedo tubes. Actually, maybe they have 6 torpedo tubes that are still in operation. So it appears that their vessel is dead in the water. They are no longer making any forward progress. They have completely stopped, which means I can kind of back up my destroyers a little bit without having to worry about missing. And I do shoot 2 torpedoes from the Luan. One of them seems like it's going to hit true. That's good. Doesn't do a ton of damage. It's really the Kazuo, that I'm most betting on to win this fight for me. Oh, but as I say that, it looks like the Yuan has actually fired several more torpedoes. These are all just heading towards the limping battleship. I think they can see him in the water, so they know to go ahead and change the way that they're firing. But these four fish are going to hit home. Or at least 3 of them are. I think that 4th one's just barely going to miss. Let's see what kind of damage they do. So this battleship, I think we can all agree, has been at least predominantly sunk. There's not much else that the Kaiserin is really going to be able to do operationally in this theater. If this was the campaign, I would have considered this a battle well won, even if they did sink my last 2 destroyers. However, this is not the campaign, obviously. This is the naval missions. And I want to be successful in the naval mission. So let's hope that we can bring down these last 2 ships. Unfortunately, we actually took a torpedo hit. They shot a torpedo at us. The Yuan has sunk. And now it is only the Kazuo, the Kazuo. And they have heavy flooding. Our 3 destroyers have sunk a Dreadnought. This is huge. This is a banner day for the Chinese Navy. This is a banner day for us at the Bend the Bold channel. We have finished Torpedo the Dreadnought. It was fun. It was tough. I really thought that maybe just a horde of, small torpedo boats was the way to go. It turns out actually optimizing your torpedoes, focusing on just a few really fast destroyers seem to be, with a lot of torpedo tubes, seem to be really the way to go. Anyway, this one was a ton of fun. Tune in next time when we take on the pre-Dreadnought conflict, where we try to, reinforce your fleet with the right ships. Ooh, interesting. Anyway, that is for next time. I hope you will join. If you want to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when I post some more videos. And if you liked what you saw today, hit the like button. Anyway, I will see you on the next one when we take on pre-Dreadnought conflict.